So we're back for the third league of the day in Maverick. So on initial inspection, the deck kind of looks like the green-white depths decks, but you can see in this version there are no depths. Sometimes Maverick plays depths, sometimes it doesn't. If it does, the big difference is basically that it either is not playing depths, or if it is, that's not the primary game plan. But you are still a Knight of the Reliquary Green Sun Zenith deck. So to go through it, this is more of like a mid-rangey toolbox deck. So on the low end, we've got Mother of Runes and Noble and Ignoble Hierarch, and Swords to Plowshares to interact. Then we've got Thalia for spell decks. Even though this deck does play spells, it doesn't play that many. Orcish Bowmasters. There are one copy of Collect Roof to Zenith 4 against the artifact decks. Once Upon a Time. Another one of copy of Outland Liberator. Again, same deal. One Scooz for the graveyard decks. One Scrib Ranger, which can be used for various purposes, primarily untapping Knight of the Reliquary. Then we've got Gadok Teague for the bigger spell decks. It is a bit awkward that Gadok Teague has anti-synergy with our own Zeniths, but presumably in any matchup where we want it, it's better against them than it is bad for us. Then we've got one Ramanop Excavator with which we can get back lands from our graveyard, including Wasteland. One Endurance, again, graveyard decks. One Grist to Zenith 4. And then our three copies of Knight of the Reliquary, and then one Knight of Autumn. And then in the 4-drop slots, there is Questing Beast and Thalia and the Gitrog monster, which, if you're not familiar with this card, 4 mana 4/4 first strike death touch. You can play an additional land, so it's an exploration. Creatures and non-basics enter tapped under the opponent's control, and whenever it attacks, sack a creature or land and draw a card. And Titania, Protector of Argoth. When it enters, return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield, and whenever a land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a 5/3. And then, of course, Zenith. Land base is also going to matter a lot because we're a Knight of the Reliquary tutor deck. So we've got one Dryad Arbor, Bayou Forest, Gaia's Cradle as a one of, Horizon Canopy, Caracas, then a basic Plains, Savannah, Scrubland, Verdant Catacombs, 4 Wastelands, 4 Windswept Heaths. No basic Swamp in the deck, although the only black cards are Bowmasters and then the one of Grist and Thalia. And then in the sideboard, we've got 2 Deafening Silences for Storm, Mindbreak Trap, again for Storm, 1 Shieldred's Edict, 2 Oppo Agents, 1 Plague Engineer, then 3 Leyline of the Void, again for the graveyard decks. And then we've got Veil of Summer, Choke, and Force of Vigor. Now, there are a lot of ways to build Maverick, and so don't think this is the only correct way to build it. There's lots of cards that could be in or out of the deck. And if you'd like to know more, I highly recommend greensunzenith.com, which covers not only Maverick, but all of the Maverick-esque decks. So you can see here on their website, they've got all kinds of articles and FAQs and whatnot. And if you go here, you can see the different Maverick archetypes that they talk about. So they've got, Naya Depths, Green-White Maverick, Abzan Maverick, Bant, Punishing Maverick. And they do talk about the depths matchups. They have all kinds of discussions on individual cards, sideboarding, how to beat certain matchups, etc. So yeah, if you're interested to know more, recommend these guys. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the third league of the day with Maverick. All right, we're round 1 on the play. All right, this seems decent enough. Turn 2, Knight of the Reliquary is always pretty good, so keep. All right, Savannah, Ignoble, pass turn. Opponent plays Polluted Delta. Thalia and the Gitrog. All right, let's go Verdant, fetch. Let's grab a Bayou, I think, or a Scrubland, one of those two. All right, Scrubland, then play Knight of the Reliquary, then back to the opponent. Lotus Petal, sacking it to Brainstorm. So this is Doomsday, Misty Rainforest. If it is Doomsday, then our only out is to draw into Endurance. Snow Island, Snow Swamp, Infernal Tutor, Revealing, Dark Ritual to get another Dark Ritual. All right. So our Wastelands do nothing here. What do I want a Knight for? Our only out is to draw into Endurance, right? So I guess I want to go grab Canopy and try to draw more cards, right? So I'm 100% playing Gaia's Cradle this turn. I'm definitely playing Thalia and the Gitrog monster as well. So let's go Cradle, black, white, play Thalia and the Gitrog. Then Wasteland as our extra land drop. And what's the clock here? If I Wasteland my own land, Thalia, then Knight of the Reliquary becomes a 5/5. Then I attack Exalted, it's a 6/6, they go to 12. And then next turn, so they're at 12. Then Knight of the Reliquary is a 5/5. Then I untap, and then we go to combat and attack with both of these. This one triggers and sacks a land. It becomes a 6/6, and we can waste another land. So it's an 8/8. So they're exactly dead on the spot. So I need to waste one of my own lands right now and then hit them with Knight of the Reliquary. Okay, so 2-turn clock. So wasteland my own scrub land, and then go to combat, swing here. We are probably dead next turn, but this is the best. I mean, we have them dead next turn after that if they don't win this turn. Also, their non-basics come in tapped. So if they don't have another basic island or Lotus Petal here, they can't cast Thoracle, Brainstorm, Dark Ritual, Thought Sees Us. All right, well, they take Swords to Plowshares, Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Infernal, no, Rain of Filth. Okay, Lotus Petal. They have one card left. If it's Storm and not Doomsday, then they can Storm here. I guess it's Storm, right? Infernal Tutor. They have exactly enough to add Naws. They Infernal Tutored for another Infernal Tutor. Oh, they still have enough to add Naws. Okay. Tendrils us. And Storm count is 10 and we die. Wow. So if I had kept open a white source, I could have swordsed one of my own guys, I guess. No, but then Storm would have been higher. Yeah, all right. We were just a turn too slow. So it's not Doomsday, it's Storm. All right. Storm. Deafening Silence. Mindbreak Trap. Opposition Agent to shut off Infernal Tutor. Veil of Summer stops them from Tendrilsing. Is Choke good here? I don't think so. All right, so the bad cards are like all of the slow, grindy cards. So like anything that's not actually going to kill them until later in the game. So Titania, Questing Beast, Collect Roof is good. Scooze is... So Graveyard Hate is relevant to some degree because of Cabal Ritual, but... And also they're probably a Beseech... If they're Storm, they're probably a Beseech into Gaia's Will deck, so I probably do need hard Graveyard Hate, but Scooze I don't want because it's too slow. Outland Liberator. What else? Swords to Plowshares is completely useless in this matchup, as is what? Bowmasters is okay. Mom is useful because they know they have to bring in answers to our stuff like Thalia, so Mom's good for protecting that. Oh, let's see. Ramonok Excavator can get backed, so the Wasteland plan's not so great here. So this can probably go, and Grist is also not relevant. All right, let's do that. On the play, we have Opposition Agent, Endurance. We are pretty slow, though. Turn 2, Bowmasters. Turn 3, Opposition Agent, probably. All right, I'll keep. I also probably never want to draw any more lands for the rest of the game, so I should fetch before drawing. Polluted Delta. All right, fetch. Let's grab Bayou, and then back over to us. All right, well, fetch. Back over to them. They fetch. Underground Sea. Cast Brainstorm. All right, response Bowmasters it. Cast Bowmasters. Target them. Yield. Target. 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 Let's just save the targets and then yield. All right, 3-turn clock with the Bowmasters. They have to Brainstorm again. Interesting. So that puts them to 12, and it puts the Orc Army to 7/7, so it's a 2-turn clock now. All right, looks like nothing else on their turn. They're going to clean up, discarding Thoughtseize. Ooh, we can Green Sun for Gadok Teague or Thalia. Or no, not Thalia. Gadok Teague then. Yeah, so let's just GSC for Gadok Teague. Green Sun, X is 2, and then grab Gadok Teague, then go to combat. All right, we win. Game 3, same thing. Run it back. Actually, let me think. Is Scrib Ranger actually any good here? What does it do? It lets us untap Knight, which is not really relevant. That means I play what instead? Choke? Okay. There's an argument for playing Force of Vigor to maybe pop LED. Bowmasters is also worse on the draw. All right, let's run that. Turn 1 Mom, turn 2 Oof is good with Endurance to stop Gaia's Will shenanigans. All right, keep this. Tropical Island, Preordain. All right, Scrubland, Mom, then over to them. Underground Sea, Ponder, Thought Sees Us. Oh well. Yep, Thought Sees. So GSE and Collect Roof are both good at shutting them down. Although we can't GSE for Gadok Teague right now, which is unfortunate. They're taking Endurance. Huh. Ooh, Oppo Agent next. All right. Fetch. Getting Savannah. Play Collector Oof. And then over to them. So they can't activate Petal or LED while this is in play. Brainstorm. And they fetch. Ponder. I guess Bowmasters would have been really good here. All right, so I'm probably just flashing Opposition Agent in. Although I guess if I'm playing Opposition Agent, I'm doing it on my turn so as not to increase their Storm count. So let's attack with Oof. I can do that, or I can GSC for Gadok Teague. I think either way is fine. So fetch, Bayou. Let's see, Gadok Teague shuts off Tendrils and Adnaz. Opposition Agent shuts off Infernal Tutor and fetch lanes. So it's probably just Oppo. All right, back over to them. Brainstorm. All right, they're on a 3-turn clock. Ooh, and Thalia? Okay, so the noose is tightening. Go to combat, swing here. So let's play let's play Thalia. Brainstorms in response. All right, Thalia resolves, play Ignoble, and over to them. So we're taxing their spells. They can't activate any of their mana rocks, and they can't search. And they can't kill any of these without either having a sweeper or double instant speed targeted removal that can get through a Thalia. Dark Ritual, Dress Down. Huh. I should respond with making Thalia pro-black, I think. Pro-black or pro-blue? What does Storm play? Chain of Vapor, Dismember. Let's pick black. So now they still have that black mana, and none of our creatures do anything anymore. Yeah, so now they can storm off. Well, it is what it is. Wait, what? Thoughtseize? Oh, they did Past in Flames. Okay. So yeah, Ritual a whole bunch of times, and then cast Infernal Tutor and grab Tendrils, and they win. Oh well. I don't think I could have done anything different. Dress Down just shuts off everything we do. Force of Vigor would have been good here. Didn't have it. All right. Round 1 down, on to round 2. You would have had to have had Deafening Silence. I could have had Force of Vigor in my hand to force the Dress Down. Oh wait, no, I was tapped out, right? So I couldn't have cast it through Thalia. No, I could, because Dress Down hits, Thalia loses its ability, then I force. Anyway, round 2 on the draw. This hand's fine. What are we up against? Opponent mulls to 5. All right, let's just play Savannah and Noble. Unmask themselves, putting Sire of Insanity in the graveyard, and then they're going to exhume it, and then we're going to lose our hand. Sweet. All right, well, this is going to be an uphill battle. Once upon a time... Oh, actually, I'm going to lose it at end of turn, right? Cancel. Hang on. At the beginning of each end step. So if I don't do it now, I lose it. Yeah, so once upon a time, let's go find a land. I don't have black mana, so let's grab Verdant. Play Verdant. Over to them. Then we take 6. Sire trigger, they discard Gristlebrand. Well, Dryad Arbor. Let's attack with the Noble. Swing. Not blocking until I have to, so they discard Archon. All their reanimation spells are live. Well, there's a lot of things we could be drawing, but we're drawing these things instead. So, combat, swing for 2. Lotus Petal. All right, no blocks. Go to 2. Let's thin our deck. What do we have? Double white already, so let's grab Bayou. Mother of Runes. I do have to block them. So what's the better creature to have on defense? Or to have, is it Noble or Dryad Arbor? I'm not going to outrace them. I'm gonna have to overcome this board disadvantage. So I guess I'm going to block with Dryad Arbor. So let's just not attack with anything in case I guess they draw a removal spell or something. One issue is their top decks I think are better than our top decks because they only need to top deck one single reanimation spell, whereas we need to top deck like multiple other good things. Chump here. Polluted Delta on their side. Well, it's a land that we can't even use, so I guess we just play it and then pass back to them. Actually, I guess technically Mom can block and then target herself, so I can get in for damage, but it's still pretty iffy to do anything. All right, they found the Reanimator spell. What was our next draw? Another land. All right, then. All the graveyard hate comes in. Leyline of the Void. Opposition Agent is probably relevant to stop Entomb. Shieldred's Edict. What else? Veil of Summer to get around Thoughtseize. That's a maybe. So what's bad? Bowmaster seems pretty atrocious. Collector Oof. They have Petals, but doesn't matter really. Outland Liberator can blow up Animate Dead. Scrib Ranger. Gadok Teague's irrelevant. And then anything that's like really, really slow. Like they either reanimate a thing or they don't, right? So let's run this. Is Mindbreak or Deafening Silence relevant? Possibly. Although it really only prevents them from going off like turn 1. They can still just put something in the graveyard and then reanimate it next turn. All right, let's keep this. This hand's not good, like at all. We've got Once Upon a Time to try to find a turn 2 stacks piece. Yeah, let's mull this. This is kind of the same hand, but with just fewer lands. All right, let's keep and... Oh, I kept Night of Autumn in my deck. I guess that's fine. Keep and throw this away. All right, so Once Upon a Time. Well, 100% we're taking Endurance. And then Savannah, Green Sun for 0. Over to the opponent. We are missing black mana for Oppo Agent, unfortunately. Marsh Flats. So I can GSC, so let's do that. All right, so the only question is, would I rather grab Scooz or a Mana Dork so that I can start playing these black cards? I'm going to go with Ignoble, actually. So I could have gotten 2 damage in there, but whatever. We're good. Over to the opponent. Underground Sea. Fetch. Swamp. Lotus Petal. So they know we have Endurance, so anything they do... 3 mana, cast Show and Tell? I guess we're putting Grist into play then. All right, that resolves. Put Grist into play. Traxa. So this is the hit. They boarded in Serenity. They took Gristlebrand, Verdant, Reanimate, Dark Ritual, and Serenity. Unmask, and then they're going to take Endurance so that when we go to kill this, they can get it back. Well, they just reanimate it back next turn, right? So I don't even know what I can do. I have to draw Swords to Plowshares, I guess. So let's play Oppo, and then minus, sacking Dryad Arbor, targeting Atraxa. All right, reanimate Atraxa. Archon, looting. Faithless looting. Discards, Gristlebrand. Reanimate Archon. All right, let's lose Opposition Agent. We're just dead, though. Like, there's nothing we can do here. All right, that's the game. On to round number 3. So we've played 2 back-to-back combo kill you on turn 1 or 2 decks, which I think kind of demonstrates part of the reason why Maverick has kind of fallen out of favor and been replaced by Depths, because Depths is a faster kill with Merit Lage. Depths also would have things like Crop Rotation plus Bajuka Bog, so there's more ways of interacting with decks like Reanimator on turn 1, stuff which is something that Maverick doesn't have. Also, even there, like, again, you have things like both decks play Karakas, but the fact that Depths plays Elvish Reclaimer and Crop Rotation means you have more ability to get it, which means you're more insulated against opponent putting Atrax into play and so on. We are on the draw for round 3. We have 2 lands, Ignoble. Okay, this is fine. Any hand that can get a turn 2 Knight of the Reliquary is usually pretty good. All right, let's fetch a Savannah and then play Ignoble. Swords? Yep, there goes Ignoble. All right, so we're playing against probably some kind of control deck. Urza's Saga. I feel like it's more important to get mana on this board, so I should probably Green Sun for a mana dork. Green Sun for 1. Force of Negation, exiling, Lorien revealed. All right, over to them. Another Urza's Saga. We unfortunately did not draw a land. I can Bowmaster, so they're going to make a Construct. I can Bowmaster to kill it, which is probably fine. They didn't make a Construct at the end of my turn. I'm so confused. All right, trigger. Make a Construct, and then before that stuff resolves, flash in Bowmasters, kill the Construct. All right, what do they tutor for? Currency Converter. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard, draw a discard for 2, put a card exiled with Currency Converter into your graveyard. If it's a land, create a treasure. If it's a non-land, make a 2/2. I think I just need to get more mana here, so I should go Once Upon a Time for a land and then GSC for Dryad Arbor. Also, if I find Wasteland, yeah, Wastelanding this seems pretty good too. Or Wastelanding their Tundra. All right, Wasteland your Tundra. Go to combat, swing. And then Urza's Saga goes off. Another Currency Converter. Okay, so there has to be some kind of combo with this, right? Aether Spellbomb. Island. Well, let's go to combat. Swing. Right, I think I'm now going to do what I was going to do last turn. So, Once Upon a Time. The only land is Wasteland. I guess whatever plan this is requires that they discard stuff, so I can grab Endurance and then make it so that they can't combo whatever combo they're doing. All right, let's grab Endurance and then pass. Spellbomb to bounce the Bowmasters, sure. Brainstorm, all right. Wasteland, all right. Things are getting kind of bad for us, getting rid of our Bayou. So let's GSC for Dryad Arbor. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Negation. All right, swing. Pithing Needle, all right. Naming Windswept Teeth, sure. Well, we drew Horizon Canopy. And let's just play Collect Roof, and then these are shut off. Go to combat, swing here. All right, so they can't win with Oof in play. So they obviously use their graveyard to some degree. So let's see, I definitely want Force of Vigor. They are also an island deck, so Choke is good. Veil of Summer, because they're playing a bunch of counters. And Opposition Agent is good against Urza's Saga. What else? That's probably it. And then I want to cut. Gadok Teague only shuts off Force of Will and I guess Lorien revealed if we ever get that far in the game. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of probably Swords to Plowshares. And then these big expensive creatures that don't matter. Titania might be actually good. Maybe more so than Grist. I guess I do want 1 tutorable removal spell in case I need to kill something. Without seeing if they use their graveyard more than Currency Converter, I don't want to bring in Leyline. So let's run this. This hand's keepable. Obviously, we need to draw a land. Flooded Strand, and then back over to us. All right, well, there's a land. So, Windswept Teeth, pass to them. Tundra. Ooh, Force of Vigor's good. Let's go fetch a basic forest, and then play Wasteland, and then play Outland Liberator. Brainstorm. It resolves. They fetch Tundra, and they're going to Swords it. Yeah. All right. Urza's Saga. I'm not going to Swords that, or force that right now. I want to wait to see if they do anything else. All right, I need to put a stop on their upkeep so I can do it next turn. Ooh, choke. Now I should just play Knight of Autumn and try to kill that. So let's fetch scrub land, play Knight of Autumn, see if this resolves. It does. All right, blow up Urza Saga. Tapping mana in response, Plain Cycle Timeless Dragon. Okay. Not really sure what the heck our opponent is doing exactly. Another Tundra. I want to run them out of responses and then try to get choke on the board, because it choke's really good on this board. Ooh, and Veil of Summer. All right, so I'm going to wait until I find another land so I can choke with Veil up. Go to combat, swing. The best way to make that happen is to resolve Knight of the Reliquary and tutor Gaia's Cradle. Opponent brainstorms in response. Does this resolve? It does resolve. All right. Opponent brainstorms. Swords to Plowshares on Knight. All right. Plays Wasteland. Well, these are all things that are occurring. Pithing Needle. They're going to needle our Wastelands, I guess. Yep. No land drop. Really, really needed to have a land drop there. Well, since I didn't, I guess I'm going to play Scooze and then attack with this Knight. Wow. All 4 Tundras. Eternalize the Timeless Dragon. All right. They have a 4/4 dragon. This is acceptable. I don't think I'm going to get a better chance to choke than now. If they have force, they have force. Let's choke them. Nah. Oh, they didn't. Okay. Well, things are looking up a lot now. So they have no mana. They also can't outrace us. Really? You're going to attack here. All right. We're at 24 and you're at 15, and we have the same amount of stuff on the board? Yeah, all right. They have conceded there. Well, we finally won a match, so on to round number 4. We are on the play for round 4. All right, let's see. 2 lands, ignoble into a Ramanop Excavator with Wasteland seems pretty good. All right, keep. All right, this, let's Once Upon a Time. Do I want a land or a spell? I think I want the land. All right, ignoble, and over to them. Mountain, Unholy Heat, and that's why you want the land. Although basic mountain, means the Wasteland play might not actually be useful. So is it better to GSC for another dork here, or is it better to just play Bowmasters? I don't know. If they're playing Unholy Heat, that probably means they're a blue deck, which means Bowmasters is probably good. So let's just hold Bowmasters up. There's the island. Well, if they're not going to do anything, I'm going to play Bowmasters. Stifle. All right. Let's go ahead and grab Savannah, I guess. Stop on upkeep and Bowmasters. No, actually not on upkeep. Yeah, all right. Now respond to Ponder. Target them. Lightning Bolt in response. Very well. Red and blue playing Stifle. So I'm inclined to say it's Delver with Stifle, but I get the tingling feeling that it's something else. Wasteland, all right. Wasteland, let's GSC for Ignoble Hierarch so that I have black mana. Force of Will, exiling Ponder. Okay. Swing with the Orc. It is Delver. All right, play Ignoble. And attack with a 2/2 Orc. Delver trigger, flips, they revealed Stifle. All right, so we go to 15. So play Ramanop Excavator. They have another Force of Will, exiling the Stifle. All right, go to combat. Swing with the Orc. Brazen Borrower, Ignoble back to our hand. Man, best strategy in the game, right? Don't allow your opponent to actually play Magic. Ooh, another Wasteland that we can't use. Should I just GSC for like Thalia or something? Oh no, I can't GSC. Why do I keep thinking I can do that? I can't GSC for Thalia. So I GSC first. Ooh, what's in the graveyard? There's some creatures in the graveyard, so I can maybe outrace them with Scooze, although double Wasteland here is pretty bad. I can grab Scrib Ranger, and that just chumps the Insectal Aberration forever. All right, let's do that. GSC X2. Scrib Ranger. So combat, swing. I forget, did I play the Wasteland this turn? Yes, I did. All right, pass to them. DRC. It's not actually Delirious. Another Wasteland. So green, play Ignoble. So target doesn't matter, I just want to bounce this. Play Noble, combat, swing with the Orc. Double Exalted, 3/3. They are not blocking. All right, over to them. Another DRC. All right, Verdant, go to combat, swing, trigger, blocks there. Okay, then I will stop on their upkeep. All right, Flash and Bowmasters. Oh, I didn't realize that gave them Delirium. I needed to kill the, well, either one that I killed would have, no, I needed to kill that in response. Yeah, that is my mistake. Huge mistake on my part. I could have killed both of them. Opponent fetches, gets an island. The fact that they have all, so they've either like randomly drawn all basics or, like they could be running back to basics. They're on the Stifle plan, so they're trying to hit mana really hard. So it's quite possible that they're running back to basics. Well, there's Murktide. We can still just block it with Scrib Ranger. Also, Scrib Ranger is unblockable. So they have 11 in the air. We have 3 in the air over 2 turns. We lose if they draw Bolt. or if they find a way to make DRC into Delirium, right? Oh, this can untap itself. All right, so I'm just going to do that. So combat, swing here, double exalted. They can't block it, and then they go to 3, and then we will play Mom, and then target itself, bounce this, replay it, back to them. All right, so Delver with Stifle. So I want Leyline of the Void because it shuts off Murktide and DRC. Plague Engineer is also probably good. You can name Human, and then DRC and Delver die on their front. Delver dies on its front side. DRC dies if they don't have Delirium. Choke for sure. Veil for sure. Edict for sure. And then Oof is obviously useless. Outland Liberator. The grindy cards are useful to some degree, but I'm bringing in a lot. Gadok Teague is also useless. Night of Autumn. What else can go? Probably Once Upon a Time. I'm inclined to get rid of Questing Beast. Yeah, let's get rid of Questing Beast. All right, run that. We have Leyline in hand and then a bunch of fairly solid cards, so I will keep this. Reveal Leyline. So we have to navigate around Stifle. So let's go Forest, Ignoble. Opponent fetches, Mountain. So it's going to get burned out. Bolt, Scalding Tarn. Veil of Summer. All right, land, and then let's pass to them. Plays another Scalding Tarn. All right, end of turn fetch. They did not try to stifle it, so let's grab... Basically the only question is, do I try to Bowmaster here? I think I do. Scrubland, flash in Bowmasters, and it resolves. Huh. Well, go to combat, swing, play another fetch land. I want to be able to play a land the same turn that I play Ramanop, so that's why I'm not playing it right now. Opponent fetches, grabs an island. Petty Theft on this. All right, let's Veil. Veil resolved. And then the Brazen Bar also goes away. I guess I should have fetched right then because my stuff was protected from Stifle, right? Or I guess the ability isn't protected from Stifle though, right? Wasteland targeting this. Float. All right, let's play Horizon Canopy, combat, swing. Play Noble Hierarch, play Mother of Runes, and pass. Evoke Fury. Well, that's devastating. All right, let's fetch. See if they stifle this. They did not. All right, let's grab Bayou. Let's play Ramanok Excavator. Daze. God damn it. All right, well, I'm going to play Wasteland and pass. Brainstorm. Plague Engineer, and I can also play Mother of Runes at the same time. All right, so let's go. Plague Engineer. Forcing it, exiling Murktide. All right, play Mom. And over to them. Opponent fetches. And then Blood Moon. All right. Well, can't really do anything, so let's just attack them, I guess. So yeah, it's just Mono Denial Delver. All they do is just Mono Deny you. Combat, swing, play Savannah, go. Ponder, Delver. All right, well, we're in a race, so combat, swing, because I can't actually cast anything. Flips, they revealed Bolt. Oh, and they can Bolt our Mom. Cool. But they're not going to? That seems... All right, play Scoos. And pass with Mom up. So we can now outrace this Delver. Brainstorm. Swing with the Delver. We go to 9. Another land we can't use. So combat. Swing with Scoos. Before damage. Activate the ability. Exiling one of our creatures from the yard. Bolt. Target with Mom. Pro red. Okay. Go to damage. They're at 5. Play this other land that's still a Blood Moon. Do they just have like another Fury or something? Yeah, of course they do. This may be the least fun deck I've ever played against in Legacy. All right, we're done. So since they have Blood Moon, I have to have answers to Blood Moon. So I need to fetch to get around Stifle. I need to fetch basics to get around Wasteland and Blood Moon. So Outland Liberator and Night of Autumn. So normally in a grindy matchup like this, I would say to cut Mono Dorks, but since their entire plan revolves around Mono Denial, I guess I don't cut them. Also crazy. We haven't drawn a removal spell even once, any of these games. So I just cut these like bigger spells that are more expensive that get dazed and whatnot. I guess so. All right, submit. We only have one land in its Gaia's Cradle. Mull. All right, a whole bunch of lands. Keep, throw back, I guess one of these lands. So what am I doing? I'm fetching a basic forest. I don't have a basic swamp, right? Yeah, so I'm fetching a basic forest and then playing Bowmaster. So let's chuck Savannah. No, let's chuck one of the two fetches. All right, fetch. Do I just GSC right now? I guess so, right? Just get out of the Mono Denial. GSC for Dryad Arbor. Go. It also lets me play around Daze next turn. Scrubland. And then we're going to Bowmaster, I guess. No, we're not. Well, we're going to cast it at some point, but not in their upkeep. Plays another fetch. All right, Bowmaster. Target them. All right, land. Combat. Swing all. And over to them. I see your disdain for Blood Moon persists across all formats. Yeah, because it's just a card that says you don't get to play the game anymore. Island. Fetch. All right, am I about to get Blood Mooned? Wasteland. All right, Folk Black. So if I don't do it now, then I lose the ability to cast Bowmasters, and then but if I do it now, then they can just Fury it. All right, cast Bowmasters. Target you. Also, this whole thing of, oh, let's not do anything in the main phase and see if they pass priority, and then let's go to the second main phase. Like, people got to stop doing that. You're just wasting everyone's time. Stifle the evoke trigger so it stays around. Awesome. And they exile the Blood Moon. All right, Caracas, Mom, over to them. Basically, this format stops being fun when it starts feeling like modern. This feels like modern. All right. And then the Fury hits us. We can't win the race, so then we're just chumping and using Mom next turn. Volcanic Island. Murktide. Amazing. Yep. All right. Oh, we can't cast Grist because we don't have black mana. All right, we're dead. On to the 5th and final round. All right, round number 5, and we're on the play. Can we at least go 2-3 with Maverick? This is fine, I guess. It's the Once Upon a Time that makes this hand capable. We basically need to once into a dork or something. All right, Once Upon a Time. No. Well, I guess I'm grabbing Endurance. Play this and go. Marsh Flats. Unmask. Exile Archon of Cruelty. Well, picking Endurance was apparently very good, but now they're just going to steal it. So, yep. Goodbye, Endurance. Opponent fetches. Badlands. Faithless Looting. Exhume Archon. All right, so probably my only hope is that I can Wasteland this and that's good enough. So at this point, I don't want to draw any more lands. So let's grab Savannah. All right, Wasteland. That's our only shot. Over to them. Marsh Flats. Evoke Grief, exiling Dark Ritual. If they reanimate an Archon here, then the only out we have is to draw Swords to Plowshares. Taking Thalia and the Gitrog. All right, reanimate Archon. Discarding Outland Liberator because it's completely useless. All right, we drew another land. We're dead. So, once again, we want all of this in case things resolve. Leyline of the Void. Veil to stop their Thoughtseize effect. And then Scrib Ranger's useless. Gadok Teague's useless. Night of Autumn. Okay, so they do have Animate Dead as one of their reanimation spells. So, like, we do want one thing. Also, Bowmasters is friggin' terrible in this matchup, isn't it? Yeah. So, in that case, Gadok Teague what? Stops Unmask, and that's it? And if they're unmasking, they're doing it on turn 1 or 2 anyway. Collector Oof. They have what? Faithless Looting? The fact that this doesn't kill any of their things is just, that's the problem. And they don't play enough draw spells to where I don't think that's actually useful. But also, all of this stuff is just crazy slow. Like, if we're getting to this point in the game, that means we basically won already. So we can just leave all these in, I guess. All right, let's run this. On the play. Well, we're not throwing this back, so keep. All right, fetch, Bayou, Ignoble, pass. Swamp, nothing. All right, I guess let's just run out Night. Or is it better to run out Zenith and Discuse? Well, if I run out Night now, I can Zenith and Discuse next turn anyway, right? Because I go Night, and then next turn, even if I don't draw land, I have 3 mana. I go get Scuse, and then I can just Night for, like, Gaia's Cradle. So I should run out Night. Evoke Grief. Well, if they can reanimate that, they can just take both the Zeniths. They exiled Reanimate, so they have another Reanimate. Otherwise, they wouldn't have exiled that. Unless they have, like, Animate Dead as their other spell, or Exhume. But the point is they have another Reanimate spell. Takes the other Knight of the Reliquary. That was the last card I expected them to take. Reanimate Grief, taking Night of Autumn. Plays another Swamp. We drew Leyline of the Void, and we can't play it. Or can we not play it? Let me think. I can go black. I can go 1, 2, 3, and Knight can get Gaia's Cradle. I have to sack Bayou to do that, right? So I go black. No, so I should go black, 2, 3. Yeah, so sack Bayou. I technically don't have to get Gaia's Cradle, right? I can still tap all of these. So I want to remain with a land that I can sack to Knight. So I should grab a fetch land and then fetch and then play Leyline. Yeah. So Heath, fetch, Plains, and then cast Leyline and over to them. And now we have a Leyline in play, so the Reanimator plan's off, and we have a Knight that's bigger than their Grief. Does Reanimate play Wasteland? I'm not sure. I don't think they do. I'm fetching Plains because I am probably going to sack it anyway. So I want to have the land that I least want. Go to 3 from the Grief. Ooh, Thalia is excellent. All right, now let's just start beating them in the face, I guess. Thalia, combat, swing with the Knight, Exalted Trigger. Oh, I needed to play Zenith first. Yeah, I needed a Zenith for Dryad Arbor and then do that. All right, so we win that game, and then I presume this is exactly the same. Just run back exactly the same thing. Yeah. Is Bowmaster better than Outland Liberator? I don't know. Maybe. Is Outland Liberator better than Knight? Maybe. All right, whatever. Let's run that. So we're on the draw, so I probably have to mold the ley line or endurance. Well, there's 2 ley lines. All right, so this hand's great. Keep ley line, Badlands. All right, let's play Windswept Heath and pass, holding up Veil of Summer. Unmask. All right, fetch. Are they targeting themselves? No, they're targeting me. All right, so grab Bayou, Veil, Swords to Plowshares as well. All right, let's just run out. Actually, no, let's run out Outland Liberator because I don't think they're going to be able to answer it. So this is a bigger clock than Skooz if it flips. Evoke Grief, getting rid of Animate Dead. What would they take here? Probably just Skooz, so I don't have as much of a clock against them. No, they took Thalia. Oh, because they can reanimate from our graveyard. Gotcha. Well, I can just kill that, right? So, Sheoldred's Edict. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Then go to combat, swing. All right, no actions, back to us. Let's play Once Upon a Time and go find a land and then try to play Noble. Although that does flip this back, but it'll probably flip back on their turn anyway. All right, let's grab the Forest, play Noble, go to combat, swing. This can't target anything, so yield to the Exalted trigger. Opponent takes 4 down to 10, then this flips back over. No? Yeah, no? Yeah, okay. Faithless Looting. All right, so we won the game 2-3. Obviously not a good showing for the deck, and I think it is about what I expected. I feel like Maverick is nowhere near as good as Depths. It has a lot of problems. Depths is faster, more consistent, has just a better overall game plan, more ability to interact with the opponent. And so basically, Legacy, you kind of break down into... So you've got your combo decks like Storm, Oops, Reanimator, etc. And these are the decks that are trying to win on like turn 1, 2, or 3, right? And then you've got your quote-unquote fair decks, which are your decks like Delver, Depths, Lands, Control, etc. And all of those decks are usually playing Force of Will, Daze, like, you know, instant speed, counterspell interaction. So if you're playing a deck that isn't a combo deck, right? You're not Reanimator, you're not Show and Tell, etc. And you're not blue, so you're not running counterspells. Then your deck needs to, 1, have stacks pieces so that your opponent can't just combo off and kill you. And 2, it needs to speed up in some way. It needs to have like Chrome Mox, Ancient Tomb, something that's going to make it so that you can keep up, like, you know, get your turn 1 stacks pieces down. And when you have this deck that has 4 Mana Dorks and 4 Zeniths that can fetch a Dryad Arbor, and then not really anything that's going to tax your opponent out, right? Like, there's only 2 Thalias in the deck. And then all of the other stacks pieces are conditional on what deck you're facing. It becomes very, very hard to actually beat the combo decks, which is what we saw continuously today. And it's also a big problem that there's so many of the one-off lands that you would normally have in the Depths deck, because you can Crop Rotation and Elvish Reclaimer for them at instant speed. This deck just has Knight of the Reliquary, so you don't have Bojuka Bog for the graveyard. You don't have Maze of Ith. You don't have like a bunch of the random one-of lands in the deck. And as a result, I think it suffers a lot. And I did know going into this that Maverick is just worse than Depths, but I'm surprised by how much worse it is. So if you were going to play a Zenith deck in Legacy, I would recommend Depths or Nickfit, not this. But anyways, that brings us to the end of the Maverick review.